Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with another Hamilton reaction. We've had quite a bit of a doozy of a couple of songs after we wrapped up Act 2. All these songs that didn't make the finale, they have been super depressing. I thought that Dear Theodosia's reprise might be a little more uplifting, but no, it turns out it was about something completely different than what I thought it was about originally. But here we have Cabinet Battle number 3. Maybe this one will be a little more lighthearted. I'm sure there will be a lot of barbs and snipes thrown at each other, probably between Jefferson and Hamilton again. So yeah, looking forward to it. Let's check it out.
The issue on the table. A petition from a Quaker delegation in Philadelphia calling on Congress to end the African slave trade and abolish slavery in all its forms. This petition was written and signed by Benjamin
It's
Franklin.
Lin-Manuel Miranda's
It cannot go ignored.
voice,
This
but
comes to a vote in Congress. What is the White House's position?
looks like George Washington.
Secretary Jefferson, you
He's so much taller. Jefferson's so much taller.
lightly. Sir, the Constitution clearly states that the states have to wait until 1808 to debate on whether to end the slave trade. And whether or not you want it, guys, that is the final compromise we made. Sure, wait. But for a
That is such a flimsy argument.
Emancipation, freedom reigns, and yes, it's great. We cannot cure prejudice or righteous desperate hate. So back to Africa, or do they get a separate state? In 1784, I tried to float banning slavery in the West. My notion didn't get a single vote. Slavery's a sin, it's growing like a cancer. But we
Did
can't
you?
address a question if we do not have an answer. Is it my turn? Good. Plantation states are packed with promise makers. Do you realize the precious time these legislators wasted? Institutionalizing slavery only multiplies our troubles. Wait till the 1800s and the population doubles. You all know this is a stain on our soul. In democracy, a land of the free. No, it's not. It's hypocrisy to subjugate, to humanize a race. Call them property and say that we are powerless to stop it. You not foresee? Sir, even you have hundreds of slaves whose descendants will curse our names when we're safe in our graves. How will the South find labor for its businesses? How will Thomas Jefferson find his next mistresses? How dare you?
Whoa.
People follow like lemmings. All
How
you're
dare
and
you.
hawing while you're hee-hawing with Sally Hemings.
That's enough.
Well, you asked how I feel. I don't pretend to know the answer, but the question is real. If I may, Mr. President Madison, let's take this moment to establish a precedent. First of all, sir, we won't involve you in this. Imagine this debate with all of Congress is ruinous. I'll reassure the South 1808 is still the year that was agreed upon. That buys us time and assuages fear. I'll tell the North that on January 1st of that year we'll ban importation handling the worst. Once I get all this agreed upon, I'll pick up a pen and introduce a motion never to discuss this again.
Mr. President.
Hamilton, if we support emancipation, every single slave owner will demand compensation. And as for slandering Jefferson with talk of mistresses, do you really wanna have that conversation? No. Madison, execute your plan to the letter. Let's hope the next generation thinks of something better.
Wow. Just kicking the can down the road. That really sucks. I can understand why Lin-Manuel Miranda would want to write this song, and I can also understand why he decided not to keep it in the final musical. Slavery is mentioned a couple of times, most often with regards to Lawrence and his fight for trying to end it. And it seems like, I mean, we know this about our founding fathers, that they were all against ending slavery in one way or another because they all benefited from it. Here it's shown that Hamilton is trying to fight against it, but not all with all that fervor, not with all that much strength. Honestly, he has to back down because someone mentions his, I mean, I don't know, this isn't true to real life, but in the musical he backs down, in the song he backs down after they make a jab at him and his mistress. Just because he did something wrong doesn't mean it's wrong of him to continue to try to end slavery. Like, that doesn't make sense. I think it's a good attempt by Lin-Manuel Miranda to contextualize these people. We've gotten a very good impression of these people, So I understand Lin-Manuel Miranda possibly trying to give us a dose of reality, but it also doesn't fully fit in, I guess, to the rest because there's no resolution. It's just something that's unresolved. They do kick, like I said, kick the can down the road. A lot of BS arguments that are super frustrating. The Constitution clearly states that the states have to wait until 1808 to debate it. And I'm like, who the heck cares? Like, you have to wait until a certain time to do what's right because of something that was discussed like a couple of years ago? Come on. I almost want to say that they're cowards for not moving forward, but the truth is that they didn't want to move forward because they benefited too much from it. So they're worse than cowards. What are they? What is the word for it then? I guess throughout watching the musical, we've pretended that these are good people, when in reality, they're not. A lot of it is left out of this musical. A lot of it is left out of our history books. I mean, back when I was in school, I didn't know George Washington. I mean, when I was a kid, like elementary school, nobody told me George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, everybody owned slaves. Like, this version of the song is interesting because it's very, very early version of it. I don't think we heard anybody's voices besides Alexander Hamilton's, or Lin-Manuel Miranda's, rather. He was doing all the voices, including John Adams, who I don't know if we actually heard his voice in the musical. I don't think so. But he was Washington and Jefferson as well. Yeah, it's interesting to see how, like, getting views of early songs before the final cut was made gives us a sense of how the development of this musical came along, and I appreciate that. I mean, this song isn't as depressing. It's frustrating. It wasn't as depressing as the first few songs that didn't make the final cut that I watched, but it is frustrating. A lot of people have been asking nonstop for Hamilton in 7 minutes, and it's definitely something that I wanted to do, but I think we're going to bump it up. We're going to do Hamilton in 7 minutes, the animatic. But yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, we are 1 week ahead over there, so check that out in the link in the description below. Otherwise, leave a like, really helps out the channel, and subscribe. It's free. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.